This podcast is rated off for realness.
Welcome everyone to the Basement Bookers podcast, WrestleMania. I am Rich the Riz McMahon here with Gorilla Buffoon, aka BasementJer.
First of all, Gorilla Buffoon, this is ridiculous. You know, I've been carrying this Basement Bookers podcast for the last year out of 9 years, and this is unbelievable. I want to talk to my agent. I can't take this kind of disrespect any further. You know what? Matter of fact, Rich the Riz, I decided immediately to have a change of heart, not call my agent, because it's WrestleMania weekend. I'm feeling pretty excited to talk to you, to make the better predictions than you, and to continue my reign of dominance as the reigning, defending basement champion of the world. It's just too bad that I'm too good.
Well, I hate to break it to you, BasementJer, but I am taking that title this weekend.
Well, you know something, Rich there is, even though you can't spell WrestleMania without it being behind you. I know.
I can.
Well, we're not having a spelling bee because we can't have wars with words without friends. And you're my friend, Rich there is. And today, as friends, the Basement Bookers podcast, we are going to make predictions, Rich there is. We're going to make predictions for Stand and Deliver NXT. And then we will make predictions for both nights of WrestleMania, Saturday and for Sunday. And before that, we're going to see what we got in the news, rumors, you know, the fake news about real sports and entertainment. You know, you handle that stuff, right? You got all of that stuff, so we can get straight to WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver and have this episode ready for the good people at the Basement Bookers podcast. Please like and subscribe on this YouTube channel. It helps us in the algorithm. We are trying to grow. Help us get to 50 subscribers. We'll always keep making episodes, and that's just a cherry on top.
Can't shut us up. All right, So let's jump into some of the headlines from the week. First up, Dave Meltzer noted this week that Brian Cage's contract has expired, and he's working on a handshake deal with AEW and Ring of Honor to drop the titles or until he resigns. So he could show up anywhere right now.
Uncage Brian Cage. Brian Cage is big, meaty man, and he should be slapping meaty meats with, you know, some SmackDown people probably. Heck, you could get him over to NXT if he wants and just destroy everybody or fast track him. He could do a lot of stuff.
I mean, if they
not everybody has to do a moonsault though. Like I get that you could do it, but you don't have to.
So a lot of people are talking about like the way WWE is treating LA Knight right now, and the general consensus is they're not going to push someone that's 40, right? They're not going to push someone like to the moon that's 40, like maybe US or IC title run eventually, but not the world title. He's not going to be a main eventer. Brian Cage is 39. So if LA Knight, who is much better on the mic than Brian Cage, and my opinion, better in the ring than Brian Cage, they're not going to push Brian Cage like that. Sure, he's big and incredibly athletic and like muscular big, as we all know, but I don't see them doing it if they're not giving it to LA Knight. Yeah.
I resent that. Yeah, that they would say that because me being the 40-year-old basement champion, it hasn't stopped me one bit, hasn't slowed me down from correctly guessing or just being lucky. It just so happens to happen. And to go out there and disrespect people because of their age, that's crazy. LA Knight is over. You could tell it in the SmackDown Andre the Giant Memorial brother. Because when he was eliminated, Bronson Reed got so much heat. The crowd was hot for LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. NXT UK's Eddie Dennis, who I always confused with Andre Chase because he's a former school teacher in Dean. That's the one that I keep mixing up Andre Chase with. Eddie Dennis announced his wrestling retirement on Twitter earlier this week.
Congratulations on succeeding so far in the business with 2 first names.
Yes.
What the heck is that? What are you, Daniel Bryan?
Happens sometimes. Brander Dander. All right. Boo Boo Room. One person in the Boo Boo Room right now. Brian
Dante
Alvarez.
Martin.
Oh, we're going to get to that. That's your exclusive.
Yes,
We can get to that.
explosive.
First up, Brian Alvarez reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that Matt Jackson partially tore his tricep in the Trios title match earlier this month, which is the reason why they did the angle where the Bucks were taken to the hospital. Dave Meltzer added that Matt Jackson opted to not get surgery because surgery would keep him out of the ring for about 7 months, and he's hoping to get back sooner naturally.
He should have taken the surgery. You could have stayed home and played WWE 2K3.
I'm sure he's going to play that anyway.
2K23.
hmm
He's probably made the Young Bucks in there. You know, he's doing his creator wrestlers of the Elite in there.
hmm
He's getting all up in there. Have him tag team with Cody because they miss him so much.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
don't worry. The Jesus has got the Bucks back. So they're on the team. They're going to be all right. He'll be back sooner than later.
Yep.
Our brothers in Christ.
Speaking of brothers, did you say something about Dante Martin?
Yes, I said Dante Martin is hurt. He was hurt. He was injured at an ROH, I believe is Super Card of Honor, I believe it was called. He twisted his ankle 180 degrees. But you can see it on my Twitter at BasementJer. Be sure to follow the bookers. Check that link tree below. Get all Basement Booker stuff. You know when we do stuff. New episode every week. You know, it's going to be fun. Join the team.
All right. And last bit of news for now, injured NXT star Ariana Grace announced on Twitter that she's entering the Miss Universe Canada pageant to qualify for, which if she wins that, she goes on to the Miss Universe pageant.
Well, you know, I wish her a lot of luck, but these days she might not have it where it counts. And that's so what's next?
Ha ha. Well, speaking of NXT, there is an NXT premium event tomorrow.
Stand and deliver.
All right. Well, thank you, Pretty Deadly, for that awesome introduction. This is the Stand and Deliver section of the show. We're going to talk about the first match on the card, which is, of course, the battle for Chase U. These people. So, Rich Riz, what do you reckon? Admittedly, I haven't been watching a lot of NXT. I told Rich Riz that 95% of it really doesn't make it, so it's really hard for me to invest every week. But I do watch the shows that they put on because they are kind of fun. What do you make of this? What do you think of this? What's going on here? Explain to everybody.
To address what you said about NXT, I absolutely agree. Even though guys like Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, they're doing fantastic. They're not a whole division. They're not. I guess we had the golden era of NXT in the last year or 2 years of black and gold. Ciampa, Gargano, Pete Dunne. The list goes on. I'm just blanking on people right now, but because so many of them are on the main roster, I mix it all up anyway. But right now, it's Hayes, it's Breaker. They're obviously the top two names. They're fighting for the NXT title, but we're not on that yet. I'm just highlighting the fact that the whole undercard is basically let's all try to get to where NXT Black and Gold was. The in-ring product is not where it used to be. The mic work, the character work is not where it used to be. That being said, this match, which might be the opening match, I don't know, Chase U versus Schism. This is pretty much the big thing going into this is it's not Ava Rain anymore, it's Ava. She lost her last name. It's her debut match on TV.
Okay.
So far all we've seen from her is some talking and some character work. We know Tyler Bate, we know all of Chase U. We know Rip Fowler and Kip something. What is it? Rip Fowler.
Not Kip Sabian.
Jagger Reed. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
All right, great. I picked not Chase U.
I think so too. Yeah, I think Schism's gonna win. Chase U is over, and we're gonna see what Schism can do with the Chase U students.
That's right, and it's gonna chase them out of academia forever. They're gonna
Yes.
drop out. I'm like, screw this. These guys are crazy.
Speaking of crazy,
Man, I got Gallus, by the way. So
you got Gallus. I think it's gonna be Gallus also. Tony and Stacks. I feel like we're working towards an eventual turn for one of them.
oh, you think the underboss is gonna turn on the Don? This whole it's all a facade. It's all a ploy. Rich Torres, I agree.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's all a little bit shady, if you ask me. All a little fugazi, all fugazi. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on.
I do.
You know where I'm
And yep,
from. All
Gallus
right.
Boys on top.
Gallus boys. Yeah. Coffee. All right. Next. Then this awesome card standing and delivering all the live long day. We have the one, the only, the irrepressible, the indestructible Johnny Gargano. Johnny Wrestling come to beat the crap out of Grayson Waller. I got Johnny Gargano on this one without a doubt.
Team Johnny.
That's right. It is time. All right. So here we have the multi women's ladder match. She's back just in time to defend her championship. Or is it up for grabs? Or is it like, well, I guess it doesn't matter because there is no champion's advantage.
That's right.
It's a
This is the
ladder
ladder
match.
match for the NXT Women's Championship. And barely, Roxanne Perez, as we saw this past week on NXT TV, we almost had vacant once again go into an NXT Premium Live event as the champion, but Roxanne claimed the title for herself in a backstage segment that was not great. So maybe it's for someone else. It's not for me. That's all I'm saying. Her and HBK basically saying, that wasn't how you did it when you were coming up. You wanted to face everyone, this, that, and the other. Okay.
Until you lost your smile.
Right. So she's in the match. Man,
I don't, technically.
I to be honest, I want just about anyone but Roxanne Perez to win, but I think they're gonna let her keep it.
I also think they're gonna let her keep it. They want to like make her a superhero. All right, if that's what you want to do, then I'm here for it. I'm fine with it.
She's the underdog that is somehow unbeatable.
She's also the only star in the match.
Yeah, Zoe had some attention, and then that waned. Gigi had the thing with JC. JC got hurt. Obviously, they didn't have anything really for Gigi to do on TV after that. Indy Hartwell came in, and they didn't do much with her. Tiffany Stratton, they weren't doing much with. Lyra, Valkyria, I don't know if they really know what to do with her.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a showcase. If Nikita Lyons returns and helps Tiffany Stratton, you heard it here first.
Oh,
I don't know anything. I'm just saying.
it's an interesting theory.
Just saying stuff. Come on, when am I right? When am I ever right?
Listen, be right about all of NXT. I got WrestleMania.
Okay.
Get out of your system.
All right, settle down. Settle down, cupcake.
I'm settled.
We have the irrepressible Wesley, who just loves being chased by men. It's the only thing I could think of here, because every time there's a dude trying to chase him and just pin his shoulders down to the mat for 3 seconds specifically and take that championship belt from around his waist. Sure, that's who I pick. All right, so who do you got?
Well,
I don't care, because either way, it's going to be like, whoa. And that was crazy. And maybe I'll see it in a highlight reel next year, but maybe it's Dragon Lee, maybe it's Wes Lee. I think somebody with Lee in their name walks away with the belt. That's my guess.
That's a good bet. I think I'm gonna go the same way. One of the Lee brothers.
Awesome. And then he takes his mask off and he looks just like Wes Lee. It's like, what? How's that possible? When your mask was on, you didn't look anything like Wes Lee. Like this different color.
Crazy.
A little bit tanner. Here we have the women's tag titles. I forgot that the NXT tag titles have their. Look, it's Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, it's Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Definitely.
And here we got the main event. Young Lion against Old Lion. The Broad Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. Well, I don't know who's younger, so that's my fault.
Well, either way, as they have said on NXT TV, which you probably missed, this is the youngest main event match in WrestleMania weekend history.
That's saying a lot. These two children going out there wrestling each other for the richest prize and 5% of NXT championship. This is a tough one. This is a tough decision. There's one of two things happen. Either Carmelo Hayes is the NXT champion coming out of Stand and Deliver, or he's challenging for the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw.
Or SmackDown.
Whatever. It's the Raw after WrestleMania. What are you talking about?
It's a SmackDown after WrestleMania. What are you talking about?
Well, first of all, the United States Championship is a Raw championship. So you shut your mouth.
Yeah, they're good with keeping the brands completely separate, right?
For the championships, yeah. The IC title's always defended on SmackDown, and vice versa. That's the one consistent thing they actually do. Take
Okay.
that.
All
Take
right.
that.
Fine.
This guy. Like, that's why it was a big deal that Theory was the United States champion, because both of the belts are with Roman, and Roman only works SmackDown.
Hmm.
And the United States champion was basically the Raw Championship. Jeez, dude. It's not that late when you forget all these things. That's all right. I'm in your head now. You
You
can
are
dress all fancy if you
out
want
of my
to,
head.
boy.
It's WrestleMania. You
I'm
gotta
in your
dress up. I
head.
told you. I told you I was doing the blazer, a nice shirt. You know, you gotta level up for WrestleMania.
I am leveled up. I got my championship. I have sunglasses. I have the Basement Bookers podcast brand. Like and subscribe. Hit the alert thing so we can move on to the first night of WrestleMania.
So who do you pick?
Carmelo Hayes. Let him be the man somewhere before he comes to the Raw or SmackDown or whatever.
I'm okay with that, but controversial opinion. I think Carmelo Hayes is more ready for the main roster than Braun Breaker is. He's more consistently good on the mic.
I would rather him have that he's a former NXT champion on his resume before he comes up. That's all.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm okay with that. So either way, whoever wins, I won't be upset. I think Hayes should move up. Maybe get Braun in the promo room a little more.
And now it's time to talk about WrestleMania Night 1, which takes place on Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. And don't you be a fool and miss out on the Basement Bookers podcast. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. Who do you got for each match and why? Let's go on to the card. So, first and foremost, we have the opening competition, and that will be I got to make my screen bigger. I can't read anything. Okay. Will be Braun Strowman, Ricochet, the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders, the only two men allowed to enter Valhalla, and the Alpha Academy. It's some kind of tag team showcase match. Who do you have, Richard, for this match?
Well, first of all, I thought as her husband, only Eric was allowed to enter Valhalla, so this is newsworthy
Well, they're
information right here.
Vikings.
Listen, whatever works for consenting adults. All right. This match, which is not for anything, but is going to set the tone of the show, I feel like it's got to go Street Profits.
Honestly, Rich the Riz, this is going to be difficult for your boy BasementJer to call. So, as usual, I reserve the right of return, but I will choose the Viking Raiders, who really have done F all since they've returned from Valhalla. Or since one of them returned from Valhalla, or whatever. I don't judge. Love is love.
That's right.
And
Although
sometimes love is all you need.
Eric ate the pin on SmackDown just a little while ago.
That by rule of return, that means he should win.
Theoretically.
Theoretically,
But again,
right?
they have done F all.
Exactly. I don't know. This gimmick would have been great in the 90s. They could have fought the Berserkers or whatever. I don't even know if that was a team. In a match that sees Seedling versus Seed. Rey Mysterio must face his alleged seed, Dominic Mysterio, who I'm still not convinced is not the love child of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio's wife.
He does cheat to win.
And he looks a lot like him. You know, the tragedy of this whole thing is not the fact that this young man is disrespecting his legendary father. It's the fact that there is a universe where Eddie Guerrero did not succumb to his demons and still lives, and he's involved in this crazy angle. Just imagine this angle with Eddie Guerrero in it. That'd be incredible.
It would be, and I wasn't prepared, but I did get a shipment from WWE Shop, including this shirt that I've had open in a tab for quite a while. This Eddie Guerrero Lowrider shirt, which you can't really see because of the green screen, even though it's gray, but yeah.
Well, Rich, there is. I hope it was worth it. The blemish you placed on this podcast with that shirt just disappearing. You've got to get over where you get over. Get
That's right.
in where you fit in. My choice to win this match, you may not believe it, but I am going with Dominic Mysterio. Rey Mysterio will do the honors for his son at the Showcase of the Immortals, and I didn't say it was going to be clean, even though the LWO is back.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see Dominic Mysterio losing to Rey Mysterio. Uh, it's not impossible. That's not what I mean. What I mean is storyline wise,
Mm-hmm.
where they are in age and the push, and it looks like it's they're impressed with the heat this kid gets, and how much you're not going to be able to shut him up. If his
Yep.
dad beats him, you're going to have to do something different. But if he beats his dad, there's just no way he's going to shut up.
Right.
I mean, Kurt Angle got retired by Baron Corbin. All right. This is
Mm-hmm.
not worse than that. This is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So all that Dominic going over Ray, which by the way, I agree. Dominic wins here. Probably lie, cheat, and stealing, right? But Ray with this new LWO, which by the way, if it's a official
And not to
permanent
sell
thing,
merch.
right? And not just hey, we got the license here, let's and not just like a one off. I hope it's permanent. I like it, but all that is another full faction for all of Judgment Day to feud with, and it's something for Priest to do because he has nothing to do this weekend. Nothing
He's
officially.
literally doing nothing but probably escorting members of the Judgment Day to the ring, which isn't bad. Like I said last week, you get to still get paid money and you get to be on WrestleMania. Everybody's going to see you.
Yep.
It's great. It's a really good day for him. I would do the same thing. All right. So the eyes have it. We are both in agreement. Let's go on to the next match on the card. This next contest is Influencer Logan Paul. This is popular YouTube influencer Logan Paul. Wait, he is Logan Paul, so I shouldn't do this. He is Logan Paul that we know of. Stop it. Logan Paul versus, I don't know, what is he, a clown or something? Seth Rollins. Your Majesty, he's a clown or something. Seth Rollins. That's who I got on here. I don't see a reason for Logan Paul to be able to defeat one of the most, I guess, popular wrestlers in the last 5 years, I guess. Seth freaking Rollins. Although on the marquee here it does say Seth Rollins. That's interesting. Should have a talk with them about that. It should be Seth
Mm.
freaking Rollins. And don't say you don't have enough room. Yeah, that's pretty easy.
They can make room. It's their own graphic.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take Seth on this one.
Especially considering Logan Paul's contract ends at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you could renew a contract when money, like if you want to make money, you make money. You know what I'm saying? If they're like, you know what, you know how it is. But it could be like, how much money do we have? Should we? And they probably will. I bet Logan Paul has a match at SummerSlam.
Probably. But Seth.
Unless something's going on, like unless he did something stupid and they're like, we can't deal with this kid. Like I know he had stuff going on with some crypto thing and all that. I don't know if they want to be involved with him after all that stuff. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the world. So he's got his own problems.
Yeah, but we're in agreement. We think Seth goes over the birthday boy, the April Fool himself.
Yeah, you're an April Fool if you think you're gonna beat Seth Rollins, buddy.
That's right.
And here we have the 6 women tag team match for Shut Your Face. This is for the Shut Your Face. You other ladies, you better shut your faces. Uh, I'm not saying that. It's the ladies who win. If they win, the other ladies have to shut their stupid faces. That's what they said. Not me. I didn't say that, but I'm reiterating what was said. Look, Becky Lynch, she lost last year. I think this year she should win this year. But it's very hard for me to do this. I cannot and I will not deviate. I will always side with Becky. So Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish Stratus, Team Legend, Team MILF. I mean, -1 versus the other three. I mean, I don't know if Lita has pets, so she might be a dog mom. So maybe 3 MILFs. But let's go.
Well, I'm going to say this. Of these two teams, one has more newcomers than the other, obviously. Damage Control should be the one to go over. They've been a team longer. They
They have
have.
yet to control the damage, Rich Derez.
Right, and that is the thing. So it's going to be Team Becky over Damage Control.
Thank God we're in agreement because I was worried about losing that one. I can't do this today. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going by how they've been booking them. Now, after WrestleMania, Damage Control should go on a rampage like they did when they first debuted and take
Not
the
an
tag titles
episode of
back.
Rampage, but like an actual Rampage, you mean?
Right. Correct.
Imagine they just showed up on Rampage. Like, hey guys, we're
What
on
are
Rampage now.
What are Control Alt Delete doing here in the AEW arena?
That's like, no, they let us have the name. Apparently, they don't care about us. So
They clearly don't.
ding dong, hello.
Right?
All right, on to the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next we have the match that will decide once and for all who the ones and who the twos are when it comes to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, KO Mania, WrestleZania versus the Bloodlines, tag team champions, the Usiest of Usos, the Usos. Rich Perez, this has got to be a tough one to call. But I guess I will go first because I choose Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to become the new undisputed tag team champions of the world, brother.
No disrespect. I like our spot on the island of relevancy. I really do. I truly do. Thank you to the tribal chief, but I have to agree. Despite, for whatever reason, Kevin Owens being backwards in this official graphic. Why couldn't they flip it? Why'd they have to flip it? Just flip it back. Anyway, my OCD cannot not see that.
Rich Perez, I'm gonna need you to compose yourself.
All right. I don't want to upset our tribal
Rich,
chief.
you need to chill out. All right, the tribal chief. The tribal chief understands. The tribal chief understands that you're desperate. He knows. Well, you know what? He might not understand actually because you are not a winner like the tribal chief. Really, when it comes to championships, if anything, if there's anyone close that really understands the tribal chief, I think it's me. I think it's BasementJer that understands the tribal chief. That understands what it means to lose a championship after holding it for so long, And to the Usos, they're the longest reigning champions. The longest reigning
600
tag
something
team
days.
champions. That's right.
Mhm.
There's a lot on the line here.
There is.
You got to go with your gut.
It's a tough period right now on the island of relevancy. There's a lot going on. It's very windy. The tide is high. The waves are crazy. It's overcast. It's thunder and lightning. It's bad juju on the island of relevancy right now. And I think Owens and Sammy, they're in the Usos' heads.
The gods are angry, Rich Perez. I come on this podcast every week acknowledging the tribal chief, and all I wanted was the tribal chief to acknowledge me, to acknowledge us on my birthday. And he no-showed SmackDown. Technically, he was probably never scheduled, but that is not the point. Or Monday Night Raw, the whole week, nothing. It's a betrayal. Honestly, it's a betrayal. And that's why it wasn't that difficult for me to say this. That Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn should become the tag team champions because that's where the story should go, regardless of my own personal feelings. This is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Owned live. Okay, I can't keep using that one. Woo! Charlotte Flair, the current reigning defending SmackDown's Women's Champion, has in front of her an obstacle, a real Rhea Ripley problem. Is what she's got here, because Rhea Ripley is, I will have here, crowned as the new SmackDown Women Champion. It is time. The destined hour has arrived.
You know what would be an interesting, by the way, yes, I'm going with Rhea also. But if whoever is like NXT Women's Champion next year decides to challenge Rhea Ripley at Mania, if they win the Rumble and challenge Rhea.
Well, Rich Torres, I would believe that happen. I would like 100% be behind that if it was the original NXT. That's not this.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe you could be right though. Wait, is this really the main event of night one?
Yeah.
That's what they decided on?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Well, as you said before, the U.S. title is like the title of Raw since 2 titles are on SmackDown.
This is insane. Like it's almost like they there was a fight between the Usos and Charlotte Flair. And Vince is like, well, guess what? John Cena's getting it.
Not
I said
Vince.
Vince. It's
Yeah,
Vince.
it's not Vince.
So
It's not
Vince is like, listen, buddy, you could provide cover for your hero all you want. Oh, I'm sorry, employee Vince. Employee Vince. Okay. So, oh, gee, boss, I'm trying to make a good impression. I'm a young
Hey, you're new
go-getter.
here. What's your employee number?
One.
1. Damn it.
It's probably so. So yeah. Vince was like, yeah, Cena's gonna do it then. They're like, oh man, well, you guys couldn't get along, so now John Cena gets to go and do the honors for Theory here, I guess. I reserve the right to return to night one of WrestleMania. But this is tough.
I'm going with Theory. You said
I
already said you're going with Theory. I'm going with Theory. I'm going with Theory because the only way Cena wins is by DQ. They're not giving him the title.
Why can't he win the championship and drop the belt to like anybody else on Raw? Or Theory gets a rematch on Raw. Like, it's not impossible. I'm not telling you who to pick. I'm just saying, like, you act like it's impossible for John Cena to win this match. It's not.
I just don't like the flippy floppy of that.
What's so flippy floppy about that?
Win the
Because
title,
there's
drop it the
people
next
like
night.
you. There's people like you who think John Cena is going to lose anyway. Like, there's no way it could possibly happen.
Well,
and you know what? Fine, he wins. So John Cena's back. Okay, you're the one who would want the belt dropped anyway. I'm trying to help you.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm perfectly fine with Theory keeping it. I think Theory's a very good champion.
No, you're obviously a liar. Okay, you come here with your suit when it's documented that you are compromised. Richter is. You are compromised. You have a bias. You know Austin Theory personally, and I can't believe that you're doing this on this podcast. I can't believe
What you
this.
mean? You mean this?
I'm not. See, I don't even have to do anything. You could show the evidence. All right, in the court of the basement bookers, you're innocent till proven guilty, and you just proved your own guilt. You fool! Ha ha ha. So yeah, let's move on to night 2.
Night 2, big for one night.
That is correct. And the first match on the card proper is, of course, the Bakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 women fatal 4-way tag match for nothing really. It's like the one from yesterday, but women this time.
That's right, Jer. Another showcase match, WrestleMania showcase, to showcase all the talent they have that they somehow couldn't get Lashley or LA Knight, on the card.
That's right, Rich Perez. And that is why I choose Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to win, because they're famous. Well, one of them is.
I think they're both famous, but Ronda's certainly more famous.
Yeah, when I say famous, I mean like not wrestling famous. I mean like the world famous.
Yeah, that's Ronda.
You know, Ronda Rousey's world famous. Shayna Baszler, not so much. And she's wrestling famous.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, I'm going with Ronda and Shayna also, just because everyone else here is kind of just thrown together a little bit. Even Raquel and Liv. So I'm glad Shotzi's on Mania. Love Shotzi.
Yeah, good for her over there learning the ropes from Natalia and all.
Hmm.
Let's get on to the next one here, guys.
Yeah.
This match is an anticipated match so big that it's garnered almost 4,000 likes on the Basement Bookers pod. It's OMAS, the Young Lion versus Brock Lesnar, the alpha male of our species. That's it's the fancier version of the Pat McAfee.
That's right.
He's out here. He's gonna take on Omos, whose skull probably weighs about 35 pounds of massive meat.
Brother, this is meat slapping meat. This is two behemoths, two Goliaths, two Titans, two other WWE Supercard former tiers. I don't know what other tiers there were. I said Goliaths already. Just two big, burly dudes that are larger than almost every other human.
The last
Head to head battle.
we saw Omos and Brock Lesnar, we were supposed to have a weigh-in, and the weigh-in went as weigh-in does, with the exception of the fact I'm not used to an entire scale being thrown at a man.
That
Was
scary.
interesting. Look, the way Brock has been selling this, I think Brock's gonna win. Like Brock's doing all the like he's been on the back foot the whole time. So I don't know if he wins because he pins Omos or if there's a disqualification, but I think Brock Lesnar walks away with the victory. However, if Omos were to beat Brock Lesnar, I would not be surprised either.
You know, this is a tough one to call. Brock has been, as you mentioned, on his heels the whole time. And I was initially thinking like Omos goes over because maybe Brock is gonna do the favor, you know? As even though he has such a light schedule and he seems superhuman, you know, he is in the twilight of his career. Brock, we know, is well documented, does not need to do this. Brock likes seeing Brinks trucks backed up to his house. That's what this is about. As far as these two, even if Brock were to win, I'm certain, based on historical performances from Brock and what he's done, I'm sure Omos will come out of this a better superstar. Now, who do I pick? What was that signal?
There
Who'd you give a
was no
signal to?
signal.
What was that? Why'd you move your hand across your hat there?
Rich Perez, you're so paranoid. You've got nothing to lose. You should be used to this by now. WrestleMania should be no exception. This is your big chance. This is your moment. I know why you're nervous. You want to go out there. You know, Cody has got youth believing in fairy tales and miracles, Rich Perez. Let me tell you something. This is not a love story. This is not any kind of story, Rich Perez. Let me tell you something. I want you to look at me and realize that this is your reality. Your reality is sitting here right in front of you. It is the basement champion. It is BasementJer. Basement is in my name. It is a part of who I am. In order to take this championship from me, you will need to take my life. Sorry, I went into promo mode. I don't know what happened. What came over me? But yes. So what do you got?
Well, I gotta say, I want that title back. This match will not be where I take it back. Going with Brock. I think one way or another, by hook or by crook, by Omos or Lashley, Brock goes over.
You know, it's kind of weird the way I go and do about math. It's like, hold on a second, player. Omos couldn't beat Bobby Lashley, okay? Brock Lesnar beat Bobby Lashley. So why would Omos beat Brock Lesnar? But this math doesn't mean anything to Vince McMahon. I mean Triple H. Anyway, on to the next one. It's time for Hell in a Cell. It's Young Live versus... I'm sorry, I don't know. It just comes out. Edge's Skeleton versus the Demon King Finn Balor Prince for the cage, I guess. Whatever. Who's the weirdest, I guess? I don't know. What is this for, Rich?
It's because they don't like each other, because Finn is disrespectful and Edge is the old lion.
Edge's skeleton disagrees with Finn Balor. I see. Well, this is quite the conundrum, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I want to say before you give your prediction,
sure.
and I can't say that this is a spoiler, but there's talk about Edge coming out as Brood Edge.
Yeah, I heard that too.
There's talk about Gangrel being there,
Yeah.
and
You
it's
think Christian Cage?
no
I mean,
Christian.
he did die. Oh,
Christian.
oh, the real Christian. I don't know, dude. Maybe. We don't know what Christian's contract was for. He could be done over there.
I mean, either that or maybe just an agreement. Hey, one-time thing. Can we borrow this guy? Look, we did it with Impact. We let Mickey bring the title. She came in, did the thing, right? See,
Yeah,
like
and it's-
we didn't bury her.
and they did bury Jungle Boy. So I mean, Christian Cage. So
They did bury Christian Cage.
I guess that would be
Sent
cool
him to
if they did
hell
that. Yeah,
in a cell.
I think Finn Balor wins this. It's kind of weird to bring the demon to take an L to Edge's skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you don't let Balor win, he's gonna be that nerd Finn Balor forever. He'll never escape being that nerd Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now at least he'll be that nerd Finn Balor with the body paint that wins the matches.
I mean, so I'm looking forward to this match, right? The storyline, I kind of just want it to end. I want Edge to move on and do something else. I don't know what. I don't know what I want Edge to do. I want
I
Edge to
got
not
an
do this.
idea. I have an idea. I know. What
I
Edge
like
can
it
do.
already
All
because
right,
it's better
so
than what they're giving me.
here's what he could do. He could take a page out of Street Fighter and he can listen to Guile. He can go home and be a family man. That's what Edge needs to do. That's my idea.
I like it.
Send him home, Finn Balor.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna bet the farm on this one, so I'm going with Finn also.
And next, we have a triple threat match. Not one, not two, but three men together, slapping chest, beating Balorans, Claymoreing, powerbombing. This is going to be crazy. I don't know what to say about this, but what I will say is there's only one man tough enough, mean enough, bad enough, and generally unstoppable enough. Gunther will retain the Intercontinental Championship. He will walk and he will march forward into Backlash as the Intercontinental Champion. There's no reason for these guys to be able to beat this King, Slay King.
So I am going to make a controversial statement right now. You ready?
How dare you? Don't ever do it again.
Looking up and down this card at all the championships that are on the line, this is the only championship that to me seems most likely to stay with the current champion. And along with Eddie was actually, interestingly enough, there were two of these in the package. Huh, what do you know?
That's weird.
I might have to find something to do with the second Gunta slap shirt.
We'll figure it out on the
Mhm.
next episode of WrestleMania. Who do you got?
Yes. I got Gunta.
All right, I already made my pick, so we're not
Yeah.
idiots. Great.
That's
We're
right.
smart guys.
Mhm.
If you pick against Gunther, you're a fool.
Mhm. I really think it's very likely that he's the only champion that retains all weekend.
Well, that's a good thing you say that because this next match may have similar implications because we are talking about Bianca BelAir versus Asuka. And I think I've already chosen. I believe I predicted last week, but I will do it again. This is a closer match to call than Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I'm gonna go with Asuka here, mainly because honestly, Bianca BelAir is starting to become a Mary Sue in that everybody likes her and she's unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just perfect in every way.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the new Mr. Perfect, She's just, but like not a heel. She's not
Right.
even mean.
Mm-hmm.
She's like Mr. Perfect, but like everybody liked him. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? The EST. If you think about it, isn't that kind of like a Mr. Perfect in a way? Like if you're the
Yeah,
fastest, if you're the strongest, if you're the EST, then that means you're perfect because
that,
there's nobody's better than you.
that's right.
I think a face that's perfect is not great, and I think it might help to lose. You pick yourself back up, you go out there, you do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe you flip the switch. Maybe. Unless they want to keep her a hero, that's fine too. You can still do that. You get knocked down, you get back up or whatever. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
go with Asuka on this one. I think it's time for Asuka to have a little fun with the belt, get the championship going.
Yep. I believe I said it. I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I did say recently on this podcast, Bianca needs something, some kind of character development to make her more interesting. We know who she is. I feel like the book, we've read the whole book on this Bianca. And now we're just like, we're not starting over. We're just like going back a couple chapters and okay, I've read this before. I've seen this before. There's nothing new to see with this Bianca Belair. We need something to change, and then for her to change to become interesting again, or at least to become more interesting. What is that? What is the first step in that? Take the title off her, give it to Asuka. This is closer to. I said this a couple weeks ago. NXT's Asuka. This is a cross between the NXT Asuka and the Japan Asuka, which is the Asuka we have needed and the Asuka we have wanted the whole time. We like Crazy Asuka. Crazy Asuka is fun. We don't know what to expect from Crazy Asuka. Crazy Asuka, give her the title. Bianca, new comeback story. Work your way back up. Maybe draft, trade to SmackDown. You go do something on SmackDown. Fresh opponents. Something. Asuka takes the belt.
Asuka takes my belt because Rich Riz could never take this belt. Asuka, if you want a challenge for the Basement Championship, just rewind and look the promo. Watch the promo, and you're gonna see it's very difficult. It's gonna be very difficult for you. So, Rich Riz is my current opponent, and you're not ready for this. Listen, Rich, to what you said, the last time Asuka was Raw Women's Champion, they shut the world down. It's her time to be the Raw Women's Champion while the world's up and running. Give her another shot with an
Mm-hmm.
actual friggin' crowd. Let's go. I was hoping there was more wrestling matches because this is for everything. I guess I could just let it play. All roads lead to WrestleMania. Main event of night 2. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes takes on the tribal chief, the head of the table, he who sits at the head of all tables, the war chief, the undisputed universal champion. I don't know what to do here. It's been a long time. It's been a long journey. I want the tribal chief to hit 1,000 days. I would love that to happen. Some part of me feels like that will happen at WrestleMania this year. And I know in my heart, if I say that the tribal chief loses the championship, the undisputed championship to Cody Rhodes, short of 1,000 days. A man who admitted that he ran away, went and he got his own little club and he couldn't win the championship there. And then he come here. I just feel like when I'm going into this match makes me feel like I think about Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania that year, And it's a little bit different because there's a championship on the line. It's It's the longest reigning. It's the longest reigning champion in recent memory. Okay, since before, like I don't know. It's a long time.
So I'll put it to you this way: there's another historical note here. Roman Reigns is the first man to main event 3 WrestleManias in a row going in as champion.
That's right, Richard Riz, and that changes nothing.
Ever. Not
Ever.
Hogan, not Savage, not Warrior, Roman. That is something.
Yeah, it's just if you even if you look at them, it's like one of them looks like a savage. You know, he looks like he will destroy Cody Rhodes. But the way Roman's been making appearances lately, the scarcity in which we see the tribal chief. You know, when was the last time the tribal chief wrestled a wrestling match? Cody's been wrestling all the live long day, which is why I will be the first. It will be me. I will be the first to look my tribal chief in the eye, deeply into his eye, and say that I will not abandon you. That your fate will be the same as mine. That we will both walk out of WrestleMania as the undisputed Universal Champion / Basement Champions, respectively. And the story ends for Rich Derez. The story ends for Cody Rhodes for now. I say in front of all of you, in front of the people, that BasementJer backs Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare. He's going to beat Roman Reigns. I lied. I lied, Holmes. I lied. I lied. That was pretty
Had
good,
me
right?
going.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you freaking imagine? And the next week, I'm just sitting here like, just sad. Like, what are you talking about?
You
Like, what are you-
had me thinking that you believed Roman Reigns was walking out as champ. Very good.
I'm a very good actor. Just, when I try really hard. What say you, Rich Derez?
I'm going to tell you why I am picking who I'm picking. I am picking who I am picking not because of the approach to 1,000 days, but because I feel like the question always is with every match and then every major match, right? It's where do they go from here? That's what always has to be asked. We spoke about it last week talking about Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. Yeah, about them not knowing where to go with either of them after the soda pop match, right? The glowy sticks.
Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
That's the one.
Jack Black match.
Yeah, the Jack Black trademark. Where would they go if Roman were to retain? How would the story get any bigger? Right? I feel like this is the natural end point for Roman's reign because this is literally, I have to use the phrase, all roads lead to this WrestleMania. The bloodline is more fractured now than ever. Solo's always been doing his own thing. He'll do the bidding of the tribal chief. Jimmy and Jay, we already predicted, they're dropping. Will they turn on Roman? Will they stay with Roman? Will they succeed in assisting Roman? Those are questions we will see at WrestleMania. We know they like to surprise us with things. I think the story of this storied title reign, Roman's reign, comes to an end in the main event of WrestleMania 39 this Sunday. Cody wins.
That was a very long-winded way to say that you agree with me, Rich Torres.
I had to say it my way.
That you wish to take this to the tiebreaker. And what is
And you
the
know
main
what?
event?
We're gonna need a tiebreaker anyway, because what if one of the other, because it's one of those multi-team matches, and what if one of the
Oh.
other teams wins?
Well, Rich Torres, then you're going to have to resign.
I got my time locked in. What's yours? 1 minute. Got it.
No, that's
Oh.
my answer. That's my answer because the Viking Raiders are going to win, all right? They're going to win, damn it. And you're gonna feel real sorry when that happens. You're gonna feel real sorry when I put in my time, 33 minutes.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
My time that I put in is 29 minutes. So the midway there is 31 minutes. If it is less than 31 minutes, I win. If it is more than 31 minutes, you win.
I like those odds. I would love nothing more than to crush you at WrestleMania. Well, that is the predictions we made for Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday. What an exciting card for this weekend. So much wrestling that you're not even gonna, you're not gonna be like, you're not gonna say, hey, there's not enough wrestling. Because there's so much wrestling. Some might argue that there's too much wrestling. And those are crazy people. So I got a question for you. If comment below, which night are you more excited for? Maybe you're more excited for Stand and Deliver for some reason. I don't know. But hey, and what do you think about the main event, John Cena versus Austin Theory for Saturday? What about that? You agree with that? Do you think it should have been the Usos and Sami Zayn? I think so. Email in.
Or Charlotte and Rhea.
That's right. And if you want, just click right down below. The link tree's there. It's got everything. Basement Bookers Pod for the Instagram. Basement Bookers Pod on TikTok. If it's still around, I don't know, maybe.
Jer's got a party message.
The match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
And do what the man says.
Follow the Bookers and enjoy WrestleMania. That was a fun little clip. Maybe you liked it. If you liked it, maybe you should go ahead and subscribe and do all the things. Follow us up. Hit us up on Twitter. You want it? It's all in there. Look at this. Look at this nice little graphic. Just check it out. Thanks for listening. New episode every weekend.